Hi everyone and welcome to today's episode of the Prime Today. I'm your host Sia and I'm really looking forward to this conversation because it's about something we rarely talk about in depth. How law forms business strategy, not just protects it. Joining me today is Mr. Akshat Khetan from he's the founder of AU Corporate Advisory and Legal Services, headquartered at Nariman Point, Mumbai. He's someone who has refined what is meant to be a corporate advisor, bridging legal insight with business growth, ethics, and long-term strategy. What I really find inspiring about Akshat's journey is how he didn't plan to enter corporate law. It started with curiosity, how business operate within legal boundaries and developed in purpose. Today, through this firm, he helps companies not only comply with the law but thrive because of it. Akshat, it's wonderful to have you here.
Great, and nice speaking to you.
Yeah, thank you. So to begin with, my first question to you is, you've mentioned before that your path to corporate law wasn't planned. It grew from curiosity, and I love that. Was there a particular case or moment that made you realize, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
So, my journey in corporate law was absolutely not planned. It was
Hmm.
more about a fascination with how businesses operate within the legal
Hmm.
frameworks. Early on, I realized that law is not just a set of rules, but a tool to shape strategy, protect interest, and foster sustainable growth. When I realized this realization motivated me to pursue corporate law. And where, along with pursuing corporate law, I tried to combine analytical thinking and negotiation skills. Because corporate law is one sector in
Hmm.
the field of law which is always evolving each day, each hour, each minute, and it is more to do with adaptability of mindsets.
Hmm.
So that is how I entered into this foray, and I am pursuing this each day, both learning and helping my clients pan India to comply and to develop.
Yeah, that's actually fascinating because most people see law as an restrictive, but you saw it a way to enable growth. When did you realize that you view or what a lawyer does to change? So moving on to my next question is, you've said corporate law is not just about transactions, but transformation. Can you share an example where a legal framework you created helped a business actually grow or shift its direction?
So, law is always perused by people that it's very dry, and it's a very strict framework where you have to do what is written and you have to go by the book. Yes, that's
Hmm.
true. But law is not transactional. It is transformational, and the journey of that transformation goes through a process of transmutation. So we have seen that when companies generally default in repaying their lenders, they have to face aggressive recovery actions.
Hmm.
They feel that their house, to their jewelry, to their bank accounts, to their fixed deposits, to their big business empires, everything will collapse. But under the provisions of law itself, there are so many inbuilt mechanisms whereby, if although you are a defaulter, but not an intentional or a fraudulent defaulter, the law protects you. It helps you envisage your vision and come back on your 2 feet to repay. There are various provisions in Companies Act, under the Banking Regulation Act, under the bankruptcy frameworks, which actually enable you to come back and stand on your 2 feet, to run your business and to pay. So when we see law with a very narrow prism in a unilateral approach and with a traditional approach, we may feel that everything is over. But we should realize that it is the law in this country which has protected and empowered and made the citizens and businessmen dutiful towards their businesses and help them survive.
Right. So it's not just about solving after whatever problems happen. It's about preventing them by redesigning smarter systems. I find that such a powerful way to look at law. So moving on to my third question is, you've talked about intersection of profit and principles in a world where speed and profit often take priority. How do you help clients stay ethical without losing competitiveness?
See, profit is a function of value generation. Often we pursue a very wrong phenomena that profit is a derivative of sale. So to my clients, I always advise that in this era of mergers, acquisitions, amalgamations, profit can never be only a function of sale, but value generation. So one should focus that the ethical standards and the responsibilities attached to each business are in perpendicular to their profit. Both are complementary to each other and both will maximize if both are strengthened.
So have you ever turned down a client or a case because it didn't align with your principles?
So yes, there have been occasions where clients do come with a
Hmm.
shortcut mindset of actually just focusing on gaining profit or adapting a shortcut to reach the goal. But we have been successful in convincing them that no, in short term you may feel that this may yield you a temporary benefit, but what are the cascading repercussions of such act? And we are proud to say that after giving counseling and advising our clients have not got turned down, but they have changed their approach and believed in what we have said, because of which we have been a success contributor in their business.
Okay, so you've mentioned earlier handling a high stakes merger early in your career that taught you a lot about resilience. I'm curious, how do you stay calm when every decision can affect people's jobs or monies or their reputation?
So calmness is the first prerequisite that you require when you are advising or consulting any business or individual, because at times you have to see a situation with a very niche view. Sometimes you have to see a situation with a bird's eye view, and always you have to maintain the balance of doing parity and justice to all the stakeholders in society at a large. So if we are not calm, if we are not patient, and if we are not dedicated in what we are doing, then we will never be able to give a complete holistic strategy.
I imagine that kind of pressure must test not just your knowledge but your mindset. So moving on, you've been very vocal about AI and digital compliance shaping the future of law. For young lawyers listening today, what skills or mindset do you think they'll need to stay relevant?
See, when software had come in our lives, we found it to be very nice, but today it has become an integral part of our journey. In the same fashion, artificial intelligence in our life will be the future software where the way to live life, the way to approach life, career, business, and ourselves is all going to change, which where we are already in the evolution phase. So my advice to all my young colleagues, advocates, lawyers, business fraternity friends, and stakeholders in the legal and corporate advisory services sector will be that application of mind and application of experience which you possess through your education and your qualification is always going to supersede any AI tool or any AI handcraft. So while we may use different artificial intelligence tools in our career and in our day-to-day activities, we have to be mindful and we have to be conscious of what output comes from the input, and we have to sync and align it with our mindset. Then there is no problem. But if we are without any research and application of mind, purely dependent on such tools, then the effects may or may not be yield into the final good result.
Yes, I think that's very important. Clients do not just want accuracy, they do want understanding as well. So moving on, my last question for today is, you've said your goal is to create a culture where corporate law isn't just compliance driven, but purpose driven. What kind of legacy do you want AO corporate advisory to leave behind?
So basically, by saying this, what I mean is that we have to decide who is for whom. You are for the law or law is for the you. My answer is law is for me. I am not for law. If law is for me, it has to have practical understanding of what is my requirement. It cannot be that, okay, because something is written in the book in some age and in some era, it has it has to just blindly continue. No, there has to be amendment, modification, change according to the evolution of time, evolution of mindset, evolution of businesses. Today we are in an era where there is so much of cyber fraud. So the law has to evolve to protect you digitally, to have proper cyber security norms. In short, it should serve the purpose. It should serve the need and requirement. It should not just be a monograph in the book, which practically is difficult to implement, and it has to be people friendly.
That's a powerful vision, and it's something that could genuinely shift how people see the legal profession. Akshat, this has been such an insightful conversation. What I personally take away is how you view law, not as a boundary, but as a bridge between possibility and achievement. Before we wrap up, if there's one message you'd like to leave for your young professionals, whether they are lawyers or entrepreneurs, what would it be?
So my one message will be always be truthful and always be very mindful of what you are doing, because what you do today is going to shape your tomorrow.
All right, Mr. Akshat, this is it for today's conversation. It was lovely having this deep, insightful conversation with you, and I'm sure our listeners have benefited with your journey. Thank you so much for joining the Prime today. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.